I'm Les, we're in the mountains, and if you watched my last YouTube video, this is part 2 of what happened when I got to shoot with one of the world's largest athletic brands. If you want to go watch the last video, it's right below this one on the YouTube page. Today, I'm going to walk you through the pre-production, production, and post-production process of what it was like to work with one of the world's largest athletic brands in Hoka, and what my secret sauce is to having success in a large-scale production. Something that we all know is that your processes need to be dialed, you have to be organized, and you have to produce quality content on the client's vision. My very first photo shoot with Hoka was with an athlete who went to NAU. I knew her from freshman year of college. Now we're 5 years down the line, and I'm working with her again. Although Hoka didn't know this when they hired me, it was such a bonus because I had already had a reputation with the athlete, a relationship, we had already known each other, and that just heightened the ability for us to produce high quality content because we already had a great relationship and we knew what shooting with each other was like. So inadvertently, even though the client didn't know it, I'm already aligning with their values because I have a relationship with the talent. Plus, I've worked in athletics for 4 years. I live in Flagstaff, Arizona, where not only the talent lives, but where Hoka sponsors their pro running team. And so right off the bat, I'm immediately aligning with what the client's values are. It doesn't seem like it'd be a big thing, and I understand that if you're in a place where you might not align with a client or who they are, and it's good money, you might want to take it. But I think just taking a step back and looking at what work you produce and who you produce it for, it's a great thing to look at someone and be proud of who they are and also be proud of the content that you're creating. This job was so great for me because I'd already worked with athletes in the past and wanted to continue to work in the outdoor industry and with elite athletes moving on for my future. And so when Hoka reached out to me, A, it was a dream come true, but B, I aligned with who they were. Again, I might be sounding like a broken record here, but it's really important when you can get behind the client's mission, who the talent is, and support who they are, because your work is just going to be a better byproduct because of that. If I don't align with someone, yet they're paying me well, I might be excited because of the paycheck, but in the back of my mind, I'm not going to be excited about the work that I'm creating because I don't appreciate who the client is. And that's okay. Everyone's going to be having differing values. When I work with people, I want to work with people who I can respect and who appreciate the same things as me, because I'm going to be excited to show up every day with them, and I'm going to want to create the best possible thing I can for them. Hey, one quick thing. All right, I appreciate the watch, I really do. But this YouTube channel is not to have you be stuck inside, sit behind a computer screen. It's to inspire you to go do whatever it is that you're passionate about. Whether that's art, whether that's hiking, whether that's being with family, I want you to be able to do that. So I'm going to ask you to stop watching this video, go take some time out of your day, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 3 hours, and go do whatever it is that you're passionate about. And then you can come back and watch this video later. Because I appreciate the client and because I want to create a product that's great for them, I'm already going into the production with a fun, with an excited mindset. Whenever I'm on set, I want to make it as great as possible. In the art and the content that we're creating, yes, but also with how people are treated and how the environment is as a whole. This might seem like a no-brainer, just to come in with a great mindset and to treat people well, but I think it's something that can get overlooked, especially when maybe you haven't worked with a client before, or it's a stressful environment, or things are going downhill. It's hard to keep your mind on straight, and it's hard to keep the energy up. But it's something that's really necessary, and it's something that's going to help out everybody more than probably yourself. You want to go into not only every shoot, but every meeting, every interaction with a positive mindset with treating people well. And I definitely don't know everything like how's the media space. One thing that I do know for certain is that if you are a good person, and if you make the environment one that people want to come to every day, you will get hired again. You can be the best photographer in the world. And if people don't like working with you, and if you treat others poorly, people will not hire you out again. I'm not the best photographer in the world. I am not the best filmmaker in the world. But I know that I can produce a high quality product. I know that I treat others well. I know that I'm not a bad person. And that has led me to have a solid amount of success very early into my career while I'm still learning things as well. This all boils down to doing 3 things. You just be a good person at heart, you communicate well, and you produce a high quality product. You will get hired out again, and people will appreciate the work that you do. In the last video, I talked about how I got to the shoot through networking. I talked about how I conduct myself on set. I'm not going to discuss what everything was like from the pre-production, production, and post-production process. Just like you heard in the last video, I met the assistant coach of Hoka NAZ Elite and gave her my business card. That business card and that information got passed up the chain of Hoka, and Hoka emailed me asking if I could hop on a call to discuss this photo shoot. We hop on a call. They tell me there's this runner at NAU. I say, that's awesome. I've known her for the last 4 or 5 years. And we just kind of discuss pricing and the general idea of what we want. She's going to be signing with Hoka. We want to do it in a place that embodies Flagstaff, somewhere just like this. And we also want to have a personality side to things. And that was the first call. It was about 10 minutes. And I said, okay, let me think. To be honest, I thought the pre-production was going to be larger than it was for a photo shoot of this scale. But the phone calls were pretty seamless and we got everything down pretty quickly. So we had a second phone call about a week ago. We talked photo shoot details, location, timeline of deliverables, and anything else that we hadn't discussed previously. And then we were on to the shoot. Now time for the production. We chose 2 locations. We started at about 4 p.m. at a coffee shop that this runner loved. She'd go there to study, she'd enjoy the coffee, and we wanted some personality behind this shoot, not only her running, so we decided that was a perfect place to start the shoot. We shot there for about an hour, her and some Hoka equipment, sipping some coffee, and then she ran home, changed into running gear, and we met out at a trailhead for our second location. The trailhead was right back there in those mountains, and it was a perfect spot to showcase the Flagstaff running environment. The actual production was great. It was just the one talent, me as the single photographer, and a Hoka representative. Altogether, it took about 2.5 hours. Between the 2 locations, we had a bunch of different scenes showcasing her personality, showcasing her running on multiple trails, and it just embodied who she was perfectly. Now on to post-production. The delivery timeline was about 3 weeks, but I was really stoked on these photos, so I started going through them a day or 2 days after. I ended up editing them a lot quicker than I expected, and I delivered them the final product within a week. I was so nervous to send off these photos, and it was about a 5-person email chain, and I didn't hear anything for like 3 to 5 days. I was like, oh my gosh, it went horribly. What did I do wrong? But they hit me back and they loved the photos. This goes back to what I was saying earlier, to being great on set, but also having great communication. I was able to deliver these a week or 2 before they were expected, and I know that that was appreciated by the client. I'm really proud of the photos that I delivered and the product that we were able to make, and I know that they loved them too. However, again, I know I'm not the greatest photographer in the world, although it goes back to those 3 things that I mentioned. I treated people well in all of our interactions, my communication was great, and I delivered a high-quality product. Because of that, a month later, Hoka reached out to me again to produce another photo shoot for them. Now we're at a point where Hoka and I work together consistently, and I know that a part of that has to be because in this shoot, and through all of them, there's been nothing but positivity. Be a good human, communicate well, go the extra mile.